Hello friends, in this session I'm going to discuss about cloud powered Pharma, a revolutionizing supply chain. Let me give you a brief introduction. We have this podcast channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. We already have more than 40 episodes and it's continuing it. We are dedicated to Center of Excellence Pharma 4. Dr. Jayan Joshi has developed these concepts, and we are discussing about cutting edge new emerging technologies and how these technologies are used to revolutionize the pharmaceutical industry by embracing the principles of Industry 4. Our YouTube channel was started about 5 years back, which has got more than 300 videos covering about emerging technologies, digital transformation, and Pharma 4. This covers starting from business strategy, about various emerging technologies, about the challenges into pharma industry, into supply chain management, and covering up to audits and validation. A smart manufacturing in pharma course is designed, which has been hosted onto Udemy platform, which has got about 20 modules and covers the all aspects about the technology as well as the pharma industry challenges. We have also written some 3 books which have been published onto Amazon, which are available on Kindle and paperback. These are again dedicated to Pharma 4, the digital transformation blueprint, strategies for mid-sized manufacturing, and ROI for the Pharma 4. So let's get it into the topic. So my agenda is actually give you a basic introduction and how cloud can bring this key improvement into supply chain management. One is real-time visibility and transparency about the data. Second is building up an enhanced collaborations and communication. Third is a data management and analytics. Fourth is regulatory compliances and traceability. Fifth is cloud chain management and how cloud can help in scalability and cost efficiency. So let me give you a brief introduction. In complete digital supply chain management, we are connecting operations from data planning, demand planning, supply planning, operations planning, and this is increasing a lot of data. So enhancing the data management is a big challenge, not only for a mid-sized company or a big-sized company, everywhere. And this real-time tracking of the data, which is gets linked up to inventory. It may be materials, or it may be in process, or it may be a finished product, and going up to the shipments to the customer, to the patient is very important. This not only connecting the data, but data accuracy and accessibility to all those stakeholders is very important because we are in a process of data-driven decision making. Earlier it was a manual process, now it has to be a computer-based decision making process. And this will lead to increase efficiency, which will streamline those manufacturing and distribution logistic operation by reducing the delay about deliveries to the users and patients and customers. This is getting more and more automated processes for the better workflows. And that will lead to cost reduction and lowering the operational costs by optimizing all those resources, whether it's machines, whether it's processes, whether it's manpower, is very important. So that will bring the more profits to the company, and then we can pass it on that to remain competitive into the market by improving the patient centricity and patient satisfaction. This will also reduce the waste and overstocks and all. This will also support the better compliances. You know, pharma industry is governed by the regulatory requirement compliances and all, and that will build the whole thing. And finally, that will build enhancements into the collaboration. So we are looking for the key improvements into supply chain management by improving this data management. And this data should be a centralized data storage where everything data should really go at one place, and then that will offer the real-time data access to all stakeholders, all decision makers from all the departments, from all the geographies. So this is what is basically getting more and more important for improved decision making. This will enhance the collaboration, seamless communication between all stakeholders. They may be into sales side, they may be into procurement side, they may be into planning side, everything it requires. And that improved coordination will bring those improvements. And this is possible with the cloud technology. This increasing efficiency will automate the processes and will reduce the manual error and also support the better compliances by adhering to the regulations and then the documentation which is really required and improved tracking from the product, batch and reporting error. Real-time visibility and transparency. Now, this is not only end-to-end visibility, but tracking the supply chain from production to distribution is becoming more important. You may be aware that there are a lot of spurious product goods are trying to get it into the systems and all that. So a blockchain technology is there. But this blockchain technology is getting supported by the cloud support services, cloud technologies and all. And the real-time tracking, which allows all stakeholders to monitor the pharmaceutical products at each and every stage, which is more important. And proactive issues can be resolved immediately. This identifies if there are any issues or potential bottlenecks or delays are there. Correct right data can resolve those issues immediately. So that's what is more important. Enhance collaboration and communication. Cloud-based platforms which have been developed can really capture all those real-time information sharing, and then that will facilitate seamless data sharing of information among all parties. Now, that will bring the faster database decision making, which will improve the accurate data, accurate decision, and can improve the operational efficiencies and productivity and profitability. So improved coordination is required, which is basically from manufacturer, distributor, retailers, and regulatory bodies, which is what is this is the objective about adoption of this cloud technology. And prompt responses and innovation can help in facing those challenges. The challenges may be certain customer requirement or a short delivery times or material availability or challenges into equipments and their availability. So a lot of various challenges which are there, and that can really help in coming up with new innovations for facing up a supply chain operation. This leads to the data management. As I mentioned, the huge amount of data is getting generated. So the scalable data warehouses and lakes are required. And then this vast amount of data, whether it's a structured data, unstructured data, which needs to be stored at one location, which and have an access to all those stakeholders. So advanced analytics capabilities, like it could be about demand forecasting, it could be for optimizing the inventory management, or it may be regarding enabling the predictive maintenance. So there are a lot of those things are there where we have to see the data, the trend, the previous histories, and do the predictions to minimize those downtimes or about this thing is really very important. So enhanced decision making is important, and then that provides a real time data insights actually. So utilizing artificial intelligence driven analytics is what is expected, what is required, and then that cloud technology will help in supporting all that. The regulatory compliances and traceability, adherence to the regulatory standards is very important. It was to secure the data storage and encryption, tracking and tracing of the products, batches, which will maintain the accurate records for the audits. And real-time monitoring is very important, which will get supported by the cloud technology. If you want to do any policy adjustment based on to those regulatory changes or something, immediately cloud technologies can help you in that. Another important area for the pharma is cloud chain management. We have to do remote tracking about the operating conditions, whether it's a temperature, humidity, or any other vital conditions when you are moving your very important critical products, drugs from one location to another location, either from the warehouse or from the real time from going from stockists to the customers or patients and all. And this requires a product safety during the transportation and storage. And then that data, when you are actually onto the movement from the trucks or wagons or something like that, needs to be monitored. And in case if there are any deviations or anomalies are found out, they should generate an alert or interventions are required. And then this cloud technology will prevent those costly spoilage by addressing those deviations very promptly. Actionable insights are there which improve the cloud chain operations and enhance the equipment performance. Scalability and cost effectiveness. As we discussed earlier, this unlimited data is getting generated is a big data, and storage of this data is most important thing. So processing those powers and which allows companies to scale up those resources as and when they required is important. Cloud technology will help in doing all that. So cost reductions will help. And that will reduce the cost associated with installing and maintaining the large IT infrastructure. And cloud technology will help in basically how you will require those the scaling up of the data and will maintain and improve the operational efficiency. So coming to the conclusion is that we have to have a flexibility, agility into our supply chain management. Enhancing the flexibility in the responses will be supported by the cloud technology. Efficiency improvements are easily possible, available by streamlining the operations and processes. Resilience in supply chain management by better handling those could be possible disruptions and any process challenges will be managed. And improving the medications delivery is ensuring the timely access even for the information which is required by the patients or the customers or the users it's required actually. So I just gave you a brief overview about cloud technology and how it can really help in improving the pharma supply chain management. Various more topics and details are covered under various sites. Do subscribe them, share with your network so that they will be also benefited with this particular knowledge. Feel free to write to us for your suggestions. Thank you. Bye.